How you feeling, Vinny?
Yeah, good.
I never call you Vinny. That sounds weird. I'm never doing that again. All these years of recording, I've never once called you Vinny, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but call me whatever you want, I don't care.
Minisode.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes. Just before we get started, just before we kick into the days of our lives that the NBA has turned into, I was just thinking about like how excited we were leading into the draft. I just can't remember an off-season like this ever.
I'm sure there's been one.
Anticipation for this draft class is one thing. The moves and the trades that went down, like the signings, it really does feel to me like a bit of a Days of Our Lives NBA right now. It's fantastic. I'm enjoying it. I'm not complaining about it. I'm really enjoying it.
It really is a year-round thing now, isn't it, the NBA? Like, you don't get a break from it.
Yeah, totally.
There's always something going on.
And we're starting earlier as well so that we can stretch out and not have as many back-to-backs. So it's, we're getting lots of it. I mean, we obviously didn't have an Olympics this year, but I mean, between that and everything else that goes on, it's like it just literally doesn't stop.
You know who started it?
Who?
Well, we did. We beat the lockout, remember?
Oh, we did. We recorded straight through.
You did.
We can take credit for that, right?
Bloody oath. Well, I am. I want royalty checks, damn it. I'm unemployed. I need everything I can get.
I think you casual NBA fans excited that we're actually getting moves. I think the trade deadline before the NBA draft, before the All-Star weekend, and nothing eventuated. Everything was spoken about. It was flat for the end of the year. Yeah. Last off-season, we didn't have anything off the back of what was a pretty ordinary draft class. I think we've been hanging for it. So I think we're just grabbing onto it and salivating because it's finally happening, and it's just, even with D-Rose and Afalo, and it's still going, and it's not going to stop. We're still waiting on Melo. There's still heaps to be done.
So a few weeks ago, and I mean, pretty sure it was on a Minisode, so the Courtside listeners can go back and find the show if they like. I made mention of the deals that almost went through that no one was sort of talking about at the time, and those deals were Kyrie Irving being on the block during the draft. I believe I mentioned the Utah deal that was in place and the Phoenix deal that was in place that all fell through eventually. So, I mean, I wasn't as blindsided, I suppose, by what happened, but it was still like a, whoa, holy crap moment sort of thing when I woke up that morning. But, I mean, obviously there's been the talk of the internet, talk of the hoops world right now, Irving asking for a trade out of Cleveland.
Look, I don't blame him for a split second, I think. I didn't hear about those rumours, and you did, and you brought them up, and I, at the time, if we go back and listen to the show, I was surprised to have heard them, and I didn't think for a second that they would get rid of him to send him to somewhere like Utah. But look, I don't blame him for two reasons. The first reason is that they brought him up in trade talks, and so they've expressed their limited interest in him and having him around, so that would burn you. And the second thing is, it seems to be the worst kept secret in basketball, along with the fact that Paul George is heading to LA, is that LeBron's out of there as well. Does he want to be, with this management, with this lack of leadership, and in carrying this team again, knowing that his boy's about to jump ship, or they're evidently not boys anymore, and I'm following each other on Instagram, but does he want to stick around? The management had expressed a desire to get rid of him. Why would he stay? I'd want to jump now as well. I don't blame him, and I'd be getting out of there. I think that place is falling apart quicker than any repeat final potential team that I've ever seen before. This is like a dismantling of, the Celtics going to the NBA Finals. It's like the dismantling of the Carmelo and Gary Payton last-ditched attempt Lakers before Shaq jumped ship. This is just, it's over. It's done. That team is just, it's over.
I agree with Senior Benson. I will say this, though. I think the Cavs put him on the block because they were aware of his unhappiness. I've got a couple of things. I don't know if it's just me, but I've got a problem with Kyrie Irving being the be-all and end-all of my offense. I just, he's too much of a hog for me, even though I like to watch him play. And thirdly, I would be sending him to Phoenix because I'd be wanting someone like Eric Bledsoe back at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just like if he goes to Minnesota, he's not going to be the man.
Well, it's not. I don't think that deal's even going to happen.
No, but that's where he wants to go. Apparently, that's his first choice. If he goes to the Spurs, which is another one of the teams he's expressed interest in, that's not really a system where Pop's going to let a guy drop. You know, he wants to be the leading scorer, obviously. Yeah, that system, not really a great fit. I just don't like the idea of him being the guy. I just think he's too selfish. And there's going to be a lot of standing around, watching Kyrie dribble around, trying to score on five guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's sort of two parts to this. I mean, it's all how much you read into it. I mean, these reports that he's fed up with LeBron, well, I'm sure there's a part of that's a factor, but the fact that he wants to be the man on another team, like I don't buy that 100%. I think he's been in Cleveland long enough now. He's won a chip in Cleveland. He knows what it takes. He knows he can't just be the man, and he knows he can't join the Knicks, be the man, and win a chip. Like it's just not going to happen that way. Like good teams are built. You know, we talked about the teams that he preferred. I mean, Spurs, Heat, Knicks, and Timberwolves were your top 4 picks. I'm not sure what order that would even go in, but you know, we've spoken in the past about Dan Gilbert, the owner, and his... Man, I'm just going to say his distaste for Irving. And, I mean, from all reports that I've read, it's one of the key factors between him and David Griffith that they butted heads on constantly. I can see that half of it as well. You know, like, I don't think a guy like Damian Lillard... I think he should really shut his mouth about now, like... He's sitting there on, I don't know why you would even interview Lillard. Like, what the fuck's he got to do with anything in this situation? And he's sitting on there on camera going, oh, well, I'd like to be in the NBA Finals every year. Like, yeah, well, you know what? The grass isn't always greener on the other side. And it's like any job that any one of us have had at some stage. Like I've worked for companies where people have gone, oh man, it must be great to work for those, and it's been one of the suckiest jobs I've ever had. So you don't know the details that go on behind enemy lines, if you will. So I just feel like guys like Lillard should just shut the hell up. Getting back to it. I mean, Irving doesn't have a no trade clause. So if you're the Cavs and if you're the new fall guy, aka GM for Cleveland, I mean, you trade him wherever you get the most assets. I mean, regardless of where he. Regardless of wherever he prefers.
Yeah, you're spot on there. I mean, he's got no bloody say in where he's going, and I think that I think that if they can get Bledsoe and geez, I don't know. I'm sure that they were saying Jackson or Chris, and I really refuse to believe that he's worth that much. Yeah, well, I don't think Phoenix would give up that much to get him. But anyway, at the end of the day, really, I mean, he's ticked the championship off the list. I mean, maybe he just wants to go get some money.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the thing too. But, maybe he's tired of the circus in Cleveland as well. Maybe there is a toll to be paid for playing alongside a guy like LeBron James, who basically has final say on almost everything in Cleveland. Like you stated the opener, Stu, it's like basketball's worst kept secret. I mean, he's gone from Cleveland after this year.
Well, yeah, and if he's gone, Love's gone as well, without a doubt. So I mean, Kyrie's really going to be hanging around there, flying the flag, just hanging around with the team that has put him on the block. To his knowledge, there's no way. Get out now. I don't blame him. And a couple of players have come out and said as much. Like Richard Jefferson came out and said, he completely understands his position. And yeah, I think for as many people who mouth off like Damian Lillard, I think there'd be 5 times more people who would completely understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, things are going to be super awkward in the Cleveland locker room if it comes to a training camp and Irving's not traded, right? Super awkward. If you're Cavs, if you're Cleveland, where do you go from here? I mean, let's touch on the Derrick Rose signing. I mean, he signs a 1-year deal for $2.1 million. You know, the replacement, the insurance. Where do you go from here for Cleveland?
You're right, it will be awkward, but I think Cleveland, if I'm Cleveland, I've got to stick fat and wait for the right deal or try and work the right deal. I imagine they would have said to Derrick Rose, look, if he's still here, you'll be coming off the bench until he's gone. I think they've signed him saying, you will be a starter. We are trying to trade him. So the management has to do what's best for Cleveland, the team, and get the best possible deal that you can get. So if he's still around when the season starts, so be it. It will be awkward, but it won't be there for long. So he will be traded at some stage.
Yeah. And I just want to go on record. I just think it is a great signing. And I know he's injury prone, and I know there's always going to be an exclamation as to how many games you're going to get out of him. I really think that he's worth more on the open market. I'm surprised he's on a $2 million deal, but I really think playing with LeBron James in that system, I think we're going to see a very productive Derrick Rose, and I hope that the wheels keep continuing in motion and we get to see a starting Derrick Rose. I think it could really be the next stage of his career. I think it could be great.
I mean, we touched on the last Minisode, Stu, his numbers from last season. I mean, if you could take the dysfunction out from the Knicks last year, I mean, he had a good year.
Yeah, he had a great year. He wasn't on the court as much as I'm sure he would have liked to, but it was still respect. I think it was 60-something games. Yep. It was 18 points a game?
I think it was 18, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and you got to consider that, that was a rotating roster. That was disharmony. That was, problems with Dolan, problems with Phil. Look, there was so much dysfunction, and not that there's not fucking dysfunction over in Cleveland. Don't get me wrong, but you're taking the court with arguably the best player in the game, Kevin Love. You've got this supporting cast of guys who can, you hit them open and they're going to knock down shots. Korver's coming back. It's a much better system, and for that reason alone, I think he functions better within it. And I really. I don't know. Obviously, the knees are a big worry, and maybe he was asking too much, and this just worked. But I really, really think I'd love to see a great season from Rose.
Do you try and swing a deal for Melo and try and just have one last run with Melo, Love, and LeBron and Derrick Rose?
Oh, absolutely. Why not?
You throw the Hail Mary now, right? I mean, if you're Dan Gilbert, you got to. I mean. I kind of feel like if LeBron doesn't have the no-trade clause, I kind of feel like maybe Gilbert just blows it up early anyway and tries to get as much back, as many assets in return before he leaves again, basically. So I think a Melo to Cleveland deal makes perfect sense, but it's just...
Mate, I would watch every single game of a small ball, and you got to remember they're going to have to evolve if they want to compete with this Warriors team. Kevin Love can out-rebound the combined output of Pachulia and McGee. So you play Love at the 5, you play Melo at the 4, LeBron at the 3, JR at the 2, and Derrick Rose at the 1. I would record and watch 82 of those games a season plus playoffs. That would be an amazingly fun team to watch.
Man, that'd be interesting as hell.
I like that lineup.
I mean,
why not? Like Vince said, why not? Like one last hurrah, let's do it. Just have fun.
We keep touching on this LeBron leaving Cleveland. I mean, yes, there's a small chance he stays. I don't think he does, but just want to get your guys' thoughts. The ramifications of LeBron if he does bounce from Cleveland at the end of the season.
He's delivered a chip. I don't think it'll be as bad as it was the first time. Mm. And he'd be dumb to have another TV show. Yeah. But he has delivered a chip this time. It'll still hurt. There's going to be a lot of jersey birding. But at the same time, I think you get a group of fans that go, you know what, we got our chip, we're happy. Sort of.
Yeah. Look, like you said, there'll be idiots who will burn their second $80 jersey in 7 years. Mental. But look, he did what he said he was going to do. The prodigal son returned. The kid from Akron came back and got him a chip. And it wasn't 2 or 3 or 4. It was 1, but it's 1. And Yeah, he'll have haters and detractors and, people. At the end of the day, I mean, he's only ever going to play basketball for one period of his life, and then when he hangs them up, he's going to be done like Kobe, like Michael Jordan, because we don't count what happened in Washington. But, these guys, when they hang him up, that's it. That's forever, and your off-season is then 70 years. It's a long time, and, I really bothers me that anybody begrudges anybody. Like say for example, somebody went from Utah to Boston. Why would you hate them?
Well, we could go back a few shows if you really want to, but well played. Played.
That's right.
He hates him because Hayward's got wonderful, luscious hair.
He does have a good hair game.
Damn, he's frozen concrete hair on his head.
Well, what do you got?
You're a hater.
It never moves. It doesn't move. It's perfect. I hate it. I hate it so much.
What do you got? Frozen concrete skin.
I've got nothing. I've got nothing, Vince.
Big Boulder brand, mate.
I barely got stubble.
I'm telling you, we should market those Big Boulder brand T-shirts.
We should market those Big Boulder brand T-shirts. They fly off the rack at the market.
They are horrific. They are horrific.
Yeah, also, I've already got people who are wondering where can they purchase these T-shirts.
Yes, I'm
like Wayne doesn't want to sell them. He's upset about it.
You know who'd look good in one?
Who's that?
Seamanman.
Seamanman. He's going to kill me.
Inside joke.
God. I'm going to text him after we get off the air. He's going to kill me.
Well, look, a little spanner in the works. We're talking about OKC now having interest and Melo having a. What was the stupid header I read for it? It was like OKC and Melo now circling each other. Like, what the fuck does that even mean, you idiots? Just say that there's mutual interest there. They're circling each other. Like,
I'm not even sure how that deal gets done. They got nothing left to trade.
Well, exactly.
Who the hell do they give them?
Give them picks and what? A retiring Collison? Like, no one wants
Steven
that
Adams.
You can't trade Collison.
Yeah, I just don't think they've got enough weight there. I mean,
Cantor, your boy.
Well, outside of the actual deal itself, I really want a deal to go down and Melo to move on, because I feel like this is a weird game of chicken almost between Knicks management now and Melo. And I feel like, the protagonist in Phil Jackson is now gone. The franchise is ready to move on. Like, that is now evidently clear. And I think that became evidently clear when they finally fired Phil. Like, I don't think there's any two ways about that now. So I just
Oh, no. He's never going to wear another Knicks uniform. Never.
Get Melo out of there. Like, what are we waiting for? I mean, is Melo holding this up now because he's intrigued with playing next to Paul George and Westbrook?
He's too busy running line sprints at 2:30 a.m.
True.
I think Ryan Anderson's actually holding it up because the Rockets are adamant to include his contract in any deal, and teams are like, nah, he's getting paid way too much. So teams don't want Ryan Anderson in return. Knicks being one of those teams.
Wow.
Poor Ryan.
he's not poor, mate.
Oh.
No. Poor, emotionally poor billionaire Ryan.
There you go.
I'll put this out to you. A friend of mine today, Justin Hamilton, a fantastic Sydney comedian. Get out and check out his shows.
The Raptors Centre?
No, not the Raptors Centre.
Oh, okay.
But he made mention, and I thought I'd run it by you guys today, his kind of thoughts, I suppose, with Melo going to Houston, that it could eventuate into the next Brooklyn scenario. Yeah, he's like, this could almost be like when Pierce, KG, Joe Johnson, all teamed up in Brooklyn. Could you see that happening out in Houston?
I can only hope so. I really do. I'd love to see that.
Your hatred for Mike D'Antoni runs so deep.
Oh, mate. Yeah, fuck Mike D'Antoni. But, yeah, I'd love to see that. And, I mean, I don't think it will, but I think they'll win their fair share of games, give up 4,000 points every night. But I just hate that guy so much.
I just feel like if this team was coached by anyone else, you'd be on board with Houston. You'd be like, man, they're contenders. Like,
I would be.
But because it's Mr. Pringles himself.
No, fucking. Oh, sorry. I swear too much these days. Yeah, because Pringles is coaching. Forget it. He's just. It's just. I don't like you know me. I don't hold a grudge for more than 50 years.
That's true.
And I can't forgive what he did to the Lakers, and especially Pau Gasol.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I don't see it in the sense that you've still got a 20-something-year-old James Harden who's still in his prime, which supersedes anything that Brooklyn got back when it did its trade. I don't think it could possibly be that cataclysmic. I think you've still got some, maybe top teners in each of their positions in the league in terms of small forward, 2 guard and 1 guard. No, I think it'd be okay, except for the coach. Fuck D'Antoni.
and Chris Paul will get injured first round of the playoffs.
Oh boy!
So there's that. James Harden will disappear at some stage. Ryan Anderson will miss shots. Won't turn up.
I've just never been a massive Chris Paul fan. I think he's the most remarkable all-star that I've ever seen in my life. Do the Clippers have anything that they could give up for Kyrie?
Do the Clippers?
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking big market, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. I thought, I don't know. It literally just popped into my head. I've given this no thought. I don't know who they've got to give up.
I don't mind it. The thing is, though, you want to team him up. You can't give up Blake or DeAndre because you want to team him up. But with those two, but I don't know who else they got.
See, this is the thing, right? Like, I like Irving as a point guard. I still feel he has a lot of question marks. I've talked about this in the past, Vince, with you. I mean, his ability to stay healthy through the year is a big question mark. And let's face it, the seasons with LeBron, takes a lot of the burden and the brunt off him. I think that's pretty fair to say. The whole focus point changes. As far as like the Clippers deal being in place, I kind of like the Clippers squad. I mean, it feels much more like a team now with the pieces they have in place. I mean, some great signings, some great trades. Yeah. They feel much more a completed unit right now. My only concern is, like, I really want to see what they do with is it Milos?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's their big signing to come across. I saw and look, it might be a fan-generated thing. I'm not sure where it came from because it's deep from a Clippers chat room, but they didn't even have him as the starting point guard. I'm like, don't stuff this up. Run him as your point guard. Lou Williams off the bench is your 6th man. You play Patrick at the 2.
No. You start Beverly at the point.
You're starting Beverly at the point?
Yeah. I'm not starting Tia Dosich, whatever his name is, straight away. He's got to earn it.
I'm certainly not putting him at the 2.
No, I wouldn't be putting him at the 2. He's not a...
Who is their 2 guard right now? Austin Rivers?
Well, I suppose Austin and Lou Williams. Sweet Lou. Man,
he was great at the Lakers. He was great.
Mate, Sweet Lou is going to chew up all Austin's minutes, I'll tell you that.
That's why we bloody got rid of him, because he was too good at the Lakers. We're trying to tank.
That's right.
Stop winning fucking games, Lou. We're trying to get Lonzo, you dickhead. I know how we'll make you pay. Go play for Mike D'Antoni.
That'll teach him. He'll never do that again. Are we all sort of in the same consensus that we think Melo's signing with Houston? Like, we think this deal's going down?
I would have said that before the Kyrie thing came up.
Yeah, me too.
I'd prefer him to go to Cleveland just because the whole D'Antoni thing. But
he's got what?
The thing is, he's got 2 years left.
Yeah.
He's going to be stuck there for a year without LeBron. But I think it'd be worth having a shot. I mean, stranger things have happened. They could just load up, play really well, share the pill. He adds a lot of firepower. He's given you, 23 to 25 a night, some big games as well in the playoffs. I'd just give it a shot.
I would too. I think if you want a chance at winning an NBA championship, you've got to be in the NBA Finals. That's just fucking science, right?
Yeah.
You're not winning one. You're not winning one unless you're in the NBA Finals, right? Right?
Unless you're the Lakers and think you've won one because you bloody took out Summer League. Oh my God, you guys last show were out of control.
Mate, we've won more than every other team except one in the history of the league. So shut it.
Hey, dickhead. Is it called a Summer League title? Yes.
You don't get to hang a Summer League banner from the rafters. I'm sorry.
Well, we are. And
we're gonna.
We're back on the title wave. All right? Title wave.
Oh, boy.
You know how many teams? You know how many teams are going into preseason with a championship? Just us.
Just the Lakers.
Ring ceremony. It's going to be great. It's going to be on the beach.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, the Warriors will probably have some stupid fucking presentation for theirs as well, but whatever.
Yeah, well, even our Summer League's bigger than theirs. Little championship win.
Hey, just with all the talk of LeBron James on this show, I thought it was interesting his right-hand man retired and joined the staff of Phoenix.
Champ.
James Jones, VP of basketball operations for the Suns now.
Everyone has got a huge amount of respect for Champ.
Right?
Could not give a stuff.
Me too, Vince. I'm with you.
He has ridden the bench for the 3 of the easiest championships anyone will ever get.
Man, I don't think about this, Vince. LeBron's never won without James Jones on the bench.
Yeah. See, I'm not thinking about that.
Oh, that's just me.
I absolutely love that they call him Champ. I love that that's his nickname, not LeBron's, not anybody else's, that he's Champ. But
I'm just confused. I don't see anything that he brings to the table. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on behind the scenes, but every second player is calling him the best teammate I ever had. I sat through Kevin Love talking about how he's the best teammate I ever had. Give me a spell.
You will not find a bad quote from anybody about James Jones, and more to the point when you read into them. And it's go to Dwayne Wade, to Udonis Haslem. It doesn't matter who the quote is. They say in terms of basketball knowledge, the guy is like a friggin' savant. Like he's just a really smart IQ dude. So I don't know. I hope that he can do something that keeps Devin Booker in Phoenix. I hope he does something that can maybe influence the deal to bring Kyrie there. Good luck to him. He's the champ.
Wow.
You know how old he is? He played with Reggie Miller.
What?
Yeah, he was a rookie in Indiana, yeah.
Yeah, that's how old he is. He played with Reggie Miller.
I did not realise that. Wow.
No, you're not as knowledgeable as me and Benson. But,
okay, rightio.
You're only here because we don't know how to edit.
I'm not gonna lie.
Once one of us learns, you're gone.
Yeah, you're gone, mate.
I'm not gonna lie. That hurts a little.
So the emails I get about you.
Well,
okay, was English Wayne's second language?
I hate you. I hate you. Well, this topic should make you guys happy because Pau Gasol signs a 3-year, $48 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think the commitment from the Spurs with this deal and Gasol, I feel like there must be an underlying, let's say, truth or commitment that LaMarcus Aldridge is now gone.
Well, 2 years are guaranteed. Third is partially. So, yeah.
But you got to think with the Sun. I mean, it just didn't work with those two last year. Really, Pau became underutilized. Some say that LaMarcus Aldridge has a solid mid-range game, and Coach Pop definitely went to it last year, especially during the playoffs. But I think we all saw the frustration on his face, and in the press conferences. I want to say effort level.
I'll tell you now, anyone out there who's doing a basketball podcast, show, TV show, whatever, when they got LaMarcus Aldridge, you had to have known that he wasn't the type of guy to replace Tim Duncan. He is not that type of player. He has not got that leadership quality.
He's not
he
an
has
alpha,
not
right?
got that drive. So I would be getting rid of him for the right deal. It was worth a shot, but I don't know how they couldn't see he wasn't that type of player.
I mean, even when he was in Portland and putting up solid numbers, I mean, man,
Still wasn't that player.
but he was. Brandon Roy was that guy. Brandon Roy. Been and gone, and then Lillard came in and took ownership. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's never been that guy.
Nope. Patty Mills is more a leader than he is.
Ouch. No disrespect to Patty, but yeah, I agree.
It's a shame for Pop that Ginobili's not 10 years younger, because Ginobili could, sort of carry him for a bit, like he did when they won their last championship with Ginobili.
Yeah.
Just turning back the clock. And the Oklahoma series.
Have they floated any rumours with LaMarcus? I haven't heard anything about who they might be baiting or dangling him for.
The only thing I've really heard was I spoke to you guys about this off air a couple of days ago, was a rumour that it was Irving to San Antonio for LaMarcus Aldridge and Patty Mills. And probably a pick in there somewhere.
That's
which didn't come to
against Patty, but I wouldn't be doing that.
You wouldn't do that if you were Spurs?
I wouldn't be doing it if I was Cleveland.
No, I meant for Cleveland. If for the Spurs, I'd do it every day. No, for Cleveland, no. Nothing against Patty. It's the Aldridge piece that annoys me.
Yeah.
Well, Dan Gilbert is running the show, so hey, you never know.
God, why doesn't he just hire me and Benson?
That'd be too smart. That'd make too much sense.
I mean, Wayne, you can just be our assistant. You can just get our coffee and lunch. And
we could start a podcast that you could record. Just stay away from the milk in the office, please.
This is not the show I thought we were going to have. I thought it was going to be nice. It's late. No, you guys are savages. So, in saying that, every week we hit the Facebook page, all caps Courtside, and we'll ask you guys, the fans, what teams and topics you'd like to hear about in this week's show. And we've only got a couple this week. It's pretty late, so that's probably a good thing. So we'll jump into them right now.
You're just trying to wrap this thing up, aren't you?
I am done with you two. Dan May wants to know, how long till the next lockout season? Man, you don't really need to go back and listen to our old shows. Like
Maisie's pussy's missing.
I know, and he lost his cat.
Oh, dude. That's too much burn for one.
Love you guys.
Too much burn for one.
Well, there goes one subscriber.
Dan asked.
He was 4 episodes behind anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dan's a few episodes.
Show some dedication, Maisie. Jesus Christ. After all we've done for you.
That's right. I don't think there's going to be one. I think the contracts are fine. I think the league's making money. I don't think the owners are paying any more than they can afford for the talent. Finally getting paid what it's worth. So I think that's a recap of my long-winded mathematical insight from the previous episode.
And go back to that episode. Also, I might repeat myself.
Our next question comes from Courtside Faithful, Joey from Timberwolves Explosion, and he wants to know, he says, I'm a little bit surprised somebody hasn't picked up Shabazz Muhammad yet. Is he asking for too much? I
love Shabazz Muhammad. Would not be against him coming to the Lakers. Not sure we can fit him in now. But yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised someone like hate to say it, Spurs don't pick him up, because if Pop gets hold of him, he'll just turn into this super six man. He'll drop 20 a night. He'll be the next Ginobili. He'll land somewhere and he'll do well. He's got a ton of talent. He's just got to mature a bit and put it all together.
Yeah, he could really, really, really help out a team that needs youth development. But he could also go to a team like Atlanta or somewhere and start. So look, he's not. Look, it might be a play late in the off season, and I'm sure it'd be calculated to get the most for him. But I don't think he's probably asking too much. I just think he probably hasn't got the right situation yet. But I think there'd be 28 GMs that give him a ride tomorrow if they could make a roster spot for him. So I don't think he's going to be someone who's going to be bouncing around the D. He'll land somewhere soon. Yeah, look, I think we touched on it at the top of the show.
there's still some big names yet to be sorted out throughout the league. So I think there's a lot of tension on that. Baz, as much as I've come to like Baz's game over the last 2 seasons, I just feel like there's probably higher tier players above him right now, like John Michael Green, guys of that sort of caliber that are probably taking the attention away from him. But I don't feel like he'll go... I don't think it's going to go too much longer. I think once this Melo deal's done and the Irving situation's sorted, I think you'll find all those second and third tier guys really start to fall into place of teams, especially as it gets closer towards training camp.
He's as physical as hell too when he plays. I like that about him.
He's a great slasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's awesome. I think he probably suffers from being a little bit of a tweener as well. I mean, he's an awesome player. He's a great spark plug if you put him into that six man first 2 or 3 off the bench. I think you're right. I think a couple of bigger moves need to be made, and then teams will start filling gaps, and he's a gap guy.
You guys are out of control tonight.
It's Australia's zaniest podcast.
That's another thing. Is Wayne the only person that says zany?
Possibly. Yes. I might be. I might be. It's my claim to fame. I say zany.
It's a little bit Brady or something. It's very, very 1960s.
Is it? Should I change it to something else? What would you rather me say?
I don't know. I'm okay with it.
I'm getting the vibe that you guys aren't.
I didn't say anything. Benson was very sarcastic.
I'm just not.
You're pretty quick to throw Stu under the bus there, Vince.
I just wonder, every time I see you type that, I'm just like, is he the only bloke that says zany? Zaniest. And you are. You really are. No one else says zany or zaniest in the world.
It's coming back, and when it does, he will be the first to say I told you so.
That's right. God damn it.
Do you reckon
people
tell their friends...
You guys are a tough crowd tonight.
You reckon when people tell their friends to listen to us, they go, have you heard the Courtside Podcast? Those guys are zany.
I hate you so much right now.
Well, I'm just going out with a bang. If this is going to be our last show, well...
Just remember, I have the power of the edit, okay?
Only because we don't know GarageBand. That's right.
That's right. Look, for all the new Courtside listeners out there, this is, of course, our free Minisode. So please enjoy. Head down to the site, CRTSDE.podbean.com, and check out some of the other free shows down there as well. If you like what you hear, sign up for our Season Pass. It's $20, so it covers you for 12 months. You get a whole extra access to a whole heap of our other shows, including our Courtside Present shows, some classics on there like the Hoopstad show, the Courtside Twilight Zone shows. They're all on there as well, plus our regular weekly show as well. Keep an eye on the Facebook page, all caps Courtside. We've got our current slap bet going down, waiting for the season to start. The bet being... The Pelicans make the playoffs. Vince and Stu have to slap themselves. But if they don't, I've got to slap myself twice. Pressure is on.
Nah, pressure's not on me.
I'm feeling confident.
Yeah.
That's irrational confidence. That is just... That's Jarrett Jack with 3 seconds left to go on the shot clock confidence.
Yeah. You know,
it doesn't make any sense.
You know what Wayne is? You know what Wayne is? Insane.
Watch out! Here it comes! Watch out! Here it comes! Watch out!
Ball.